good evening. I'd like to welcome you to yet another edition of Talking with Forest Park, your one-stop shop for all things the city of Forest Park. I'm very fortunate to have with me at the round table, we're going to have a number of guests today, but of course starting it all off, as always, City Manager Ray Hodges. Ray, glad you could join us this season.
Thank you, Jason. Glad to be back with you again.
I am glad to see all of the things that you're bringing with us. We're talking all sorts of topics today, but we're going to start off sitting here with Taffy Jackson. Taffy, how are you?
Good, and you?
I'm doing great.
Thanks back for my second opportunity.
I know. It's been a while since you've been here, and we like the holiday season, and with a lot of holiday things going on, a lot of people are taking the time off to do some recreational items.
Correct.
And that's why Ray's brought you here. Let's talk about the recreation department.
Right. Let me just first offer, Jason, that Taffy is our recreation coordinator. She does a great job for us. She's basically overseeing all the recreational activities. And as we get close to the end of the year, it just seemed like a great time to bring her on to talk about some of the things that we have done, some of the things that we are currently doing, and some of the things people can anticipate for the holiday season. So Taffy has a great handle on this, and we're glad for her to be with us today.
She is the wealth of knowledge about this.
About recreation.
You are. Let's get started. What's going on in the department right now?
Okay, right now we actually are finishing up our 2015 fall soccer season. We had two teams, the girls kickers and the boys kickers team, go on to state tournaments. Unfortunately, the girls team lost last weekend. However, the boys team will go on this weekend and play. We've also started up fall basketball. All the kids will be practicing within the school district, grades 2nd through 9th this year. We've always in the previous years done 2nd through 8th grade. Okay. But there's a demand for a high school team, so we will have a JV team this year.
And that's just at the 9th grade level, correct?
Correct, correct. Those are 9th and 10th graders that will play the JV level.
Wow. So you were saying there's a demand for it. That's a great sign considering.
Correct. Because it gives the kids that try out for the high school level that don't make it, it gives them an opportunity to continue to play ball, but it's rec ball. It's a competitive league, which is the Cincinnati Premier Youth Basketball League. And
that's similar to as we were talking earlier, the soccer as well.
Correct.
The opportunity. Now, I know that soccer is over, but for those interested who are probably watching and thinking of next year, which we'll talk about 2016 as well, do they offer that high school opportunity, or is basketball the only one that's offering the high school opportunity?
Correct. We do not. We'll start up the spring soccer in March. Unfortunately, the league that we're with does not offer the high school level. Okay. So it's up to the age of 13. Okay. So, but yeah, basketball will have the high school players.
Now, I think it's interesting in terms of the level of interest we have in soccer and basketball. Can you talk about that a little bit in terms of Forest Park and where interest appears to be in some of our recreational activities like soccer and basketball? Okay.
Well, the one big main interest in parents is they want to keep their children busy year-round. So you have the fall soccer, you have spring soccer, but parents want to know, okay, when this is done, what do my children venture into next? Right. And it doesn't mean, next year do I look into other opportunities? Because again, soccer is only fall and spring. Basketball is fall, winter, early spring, because basketball is season. December through March. So we probably will look at other opportunities. But again, parents want year-round involvement. Within the city, even though it's not city programs, we do have football teams, we have baseball teams, which I get quite a few calls about that, and I have contact people that I can say, the city, in fact, does not offer a recreational baseball team, but here's contact information.
Okay, so you are obviously getting that outreach.
Correct.
To keep people going inside the city as well.
Because we have a very large football requirement in the community, and also baseball. So they're utilizing our fields. So I know what's going on. I'm in contact with the coaches and everything, and their representatives. So it does. Even though it's not a city rec program, there are other activities that can keep, children involved all year round.
And I think it's a great opportunity to kind of explain a little bit of how we've expanded our recreation program to be beyond just the city of Forest Park, but where people can decide that they want to be a part of the Y or some other activity and some assistance that we provide them. If you can talk about that for just a little bit, because sometimes people think because we don't have a recreation center that we're limited to the extent that people can't venture out and maybe take up swimming, take up other activities. Talk about that just for a minute in terms of what the options are for people to take up other activities.
Okay. We offer a rec reimbursement program yearly. And basically what it is, people will join for example, Powell Crosley YMCA, FitWorks, Be Fit, which is a new organization up in the Cincinnati Mills, the mall area. We recently added him to our app. So what it is, once you pay up to the first $100, you are reimbursed that first $100 that you spend. And this is a program we offer every year. So,
And those are to all residents?
correct, all Forest Park residents. And again, I mean, you can go to the Fairfield YMCA, you can go to Powell Crosley, you can go to Mercy Healthplex, and still enjoy programs that we unfortunately do not offer because we do not have a rec center, and you're reimbursed the first $100.
But the key thing is that these are facilities within just a few miles of
Correct.
the city. So physically, people can get to them. And if they're interested in being members there, we extend our recreation program
Correct.
to assist in those areas.
For those who are interested in wanting to look into that reimbursement, what's the best way to do that so that they can, again, be fit, as you're saying,
There
or
you
get
go.
started into other recreational activities?
You can either contact me directly or on the webpage, under the Forest Park webpage, the actual form is on there and it will tell you the organizations that we are in connection with. But like I said, BeFit is one we just recently added this previous year because the gentleman, the owner of the organization, came to us and said, I have this awesome fitness center open 24 hours. Yeah, so
Which
for
is
those people who
great.
want to work out at 3 o'clock in the morning can go into the facility. It's a secured facility and everything, and he guarantees, your safety and everything. So it gives you that opportunity also.
Well, at the beginning of everything that we were starting, we were obviously leading into the holiday season. We are ending soccer, we're starting basketball.
Right.
What other activities will be going on during the holiday season that will be leading us into 2016 to a brand new year?
Okay. My seniors are very busy. We do a lot with them during this time of year. We will do our standard, annual holiday luncheon and everything. With regard to the rec programs, we have the annual tree lighting ceremony, which will be held on Monday, December 7th at 7 p.m. at the fire department. And that's a program wherein the children within the Wentwood School District will coloring pages. That's the elementary school level. The 5th, 6th graders will actually do an essay. And the child who, writes the essay that the commissioners really enjoy reading will be the one who actually will flip the switch that turns on the city municipal lights.
And again, that's December 7th.
Yeah,
Be
correct.
there.
And then December 19th, we will do our annual Breakfast with Santa Claus at Frisch's from 9 to 11.
And again, these are things that have been going on for a number of years.
Correct,
But these
they're
are
all
things that
annual.
are, again, in demand. I
Correct.
don't think they have diminished since I've been a part of everything in
Right.
the city. So these are great topics coming up.
Yeah, I enjoy watching Santa Claus come in on the fire truck every year. That's like the best part of the whole program. Well, the children singing and everything, I love all that. But
That's true.
Yeah.
You do have a choir in there as well.
Correct.
So, but leads us to 2016. Do we have anything new or exciting that you have planned up your sleeve this year?
we are actually looking into a few things, which I'm not going to divulge at the moment.
Okay.
So when those programs come about, I will start getting the word out. The school is great and also helping get the word out about programs that the city and everything is, bringing in. So,
And one of the reasons we are not able to talk about some of the upcoming possibilities is there are possibilities, and we
Correct.
don't want to start suggesting things that we can't deliver on. Since we have so many great things that we can deliver on, that's what we try to
Exactly.
stay focused with.
No, that is fair. And again, working with what you have to give the city what we can give
Correct.
is an amazing task and a feat for you.
right.
Well, it looks like we are running to the bottom of that 15 minutes that we promised. And so we're going to talk about those recreation points with that the fire department had with the steppers. And once we are completed with that, we're going to bring in Andy Lewandowski. So we'll be right back here on Talking with Forest Park.
Can't do without it. It's electric. Take it on Mr. Melodies, I take it a feeling, Charlie, it's moving along. Lose it. It's electric. But you can't use it. It's electric. But you know it's
morning. My name is Jermaine Hill. I'm one of the assistant chiefs at the Forest Park Fire Department. Today we have our senior steppers, our line dance crew, dancing at the firehouse on our bay floors. I don't know of any other firehouse that does this. It's a wonderful day to be a Forest Park resident. Why do we do this? We do our community outreach because it's all about relationship, mutual respect, and I love these guys. And they love us as well. I mean, they help us out, they bring us food, we bring food down to them, we cook for them, etc. And it's a great time for us to get to know each other on a personal level. You know, we're on the job, but we're not on an emergency scene. They're getting to see us as people, we get to see them as people, we get to take care of them, we have treats set up for them. They're sweet treats. They should be healthier stuff, but next time we'll do more apples and bananas. Month, November 1st, time went back. Did everybody remember to set their clocks? Yeah. Okay. We still woke up late and got late at church late. But did you guys remember to check your smoke detector batteries? Yeah. Okay. All right, some of us did, some of us didn't. If you live in the city of Forest Park and you need smoke detector batteries, contact me. I'll make sure that you get batteries. If you need smoke detectors in your home, contact me. We bring them, we can install, we can do a home safety inspection as well. Some of the smoke detectors, they may be labeled kitchen. There's two different technologies. One is ionization, one is photoelectric. The photoelectric smoke detectors, they're better for detecting common household fires, smoldering fires. The ionizations, the smaller ones, usually the cheaper ones, those are better detecting fires already in motion. So if you have to choose just one for your home, definitely choose the photoelectric. The state stance on it is that you want both technologies in the home because we don't know what type of fire that we're going to have, right? But look at the labels. Some may say living room. Others may say kitchen. Ones that say kitchen, definitely put it in the kitchen. Try to get it 10 feet away from that stove though, okay? Because, you know, Thanksgiving's coming up. Everybody throws down in the kitchen. And I know every year since 1995, we've been setting off smoke alarms. Stop your dreaming, get on the floor. Stop your screaming. Right now I wanna have a little fun, little fun. Little roll, I let you know you're the lucky one. She said jump on, roll it, jump back, roll it, to the left, roll it, back to the right, roll it, jump.
Well, in 2005, this class was started with 5 dancers with my late husband, and we have grown from that number up to about 70 to 80 on Monday morning.
It go left foot. I want to wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby. I want to wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby. Now work out to you, work out to you, work out to you. To the right, 4 times. To the right, to the right, to the right. Come on.
And my name is Reverend Sandera Dave, President and Chaplain of the Forest Park Senior Advisory Board. And we help to plan the various activities at the Senior Center. And we do have fitness and fun, and we have yoga and Zumba and square dancing and a lot of activities at the Senior Center and the Activity Center.
If you haven't joined the Forest Park Senior Steppers crew, please come to City's Recreation Department over in the municipal building. Ask for Taffy Jackson. She can get you connected with them. If you want to do ride time with the firehouse, call and ask for me, Chief Jermaine Hill, 513-595-5291, and we can get you set up. Until then, you take care.
And welcome back. You are watching the November issue of Talking with Forest Park. I'm fortunate to have with us, still with Ray Hodges, but taking Taffy's place is Andy Lewandowski. Andy, glad you could join us.
I'm glad I could be here.
Ray, we brought Andy on for special reasons, correct?
Yes, Andy is our Deputy Finance Director, and it's a great opportunity to bring him on to talk about some of the changes in the tax laws. We got legislation that's on the council's agenda that represents additions to our tax codes, and people may not be fully aware of it, but Andy works with this day in, day out, and he's really our in-house expert that can help explain what is going on for our residents.
Well, then let's dig right in, Andy. You know, let's talk about the resolutions that are coming up at council. What are these going to be doing for our citizens?
Well, the main resolution is House Bill 5 that was passed back in December of 2014. It was signed by the governor, Governor Kasich. It was titled the Municipal Income Tax Uniformity Bill. The bill mandates that by January 1st of 2016, all municipalities must update their ordinance to reflect the changes in House Bill 5. City Council should be passing ours by the end of November or early December.
And that's, that next meeting will actually be coming up here shortly, not for the special meeting, but the December 7th meeting? Is that where we're looking towards?
Yeah, the main thing for residents is to realize is the new regulations will go into effect for January 1, 2016. Again, Andy can explain a little further how that's going to relate to people that have filings for 2015, but the new regulations will go into effect January 1 of 2016.
And especially when people hear tax, people kind of get a little
Right.
freaked out, and that's understandable. How will, we know when it's going to take effect, but what does this mean to the taxpayer in Forest Park once this all begins?
Well, so it's effective January 1st. However, any returns filed prior to that, the old ordinance is still in effect. So essentially, we will have two ordinances. So this will actually go into effect for the 2016 filing season, which is in April of 2017.
Okay, so going into full kind of...
Right. Now, there are some things that do go into effect next year. Certain things like estimated payments. If a resident owes more than $200 on a return, they've always been required to file and pay estimated payments, usually quarterly. Well, those payments have been accelerated. They used to be April 15th, July 31st, October 31st, and January 31st of the following year. Now they're going to be April 15th, June 15th, September 15th, and December 15th. So all residents just need to prepare their budgets to make sure they hit those earlier, because penalties and interest can accrue if they're not paid on time.
Will those changes actually help your office a little bit more? It sounds like with a tightening like that, it gets things done in the full year.
Yes,
now.
it does, with the exception of the June 15th is so close to the April filing date. We're still working on how we're going to get those quarterly bills out in time.
Okay.
That's a challenge for our office, but we'll get that figured out.
Besides the change in fee or schedule fee, is there any other changes that you can foresee coming in that are going to be difficult or maybe confusing or maybe even better for our residents?
I would say there's four main changes. The estimates were the first one. Extensions, it's actually a benefit to the resident now. Prior, you had to file your extension with the city by April 15th, or you could accrue a late penalty or late file penalty. Now, if you file a federal extension, you can file that federal extension with your city return by October 15th, which is the 6-month gap that the federal government allows on federal returns. The cities are just backing onto that.
Okay.
But as long as you attach a copy of the federal extension, we will accept that as a timely filed return. So that is a benefit to the resident.
Sure.
Two other things, the state put caps on penalties and interest. The new law, for instance, late penalty is capped at 15% as opposed to our current as 100%. So if your return goes unpaid for several years, you could, as of right now, you could accrue up to 100% penalty, whereas in the new law, you can only accrue up to a 15% penalty. So that's a benefit to the to the resident. And then another thing is gambling. We will be, City of Forest Park has not taxed gambling in the past.
Okay.
But we will be taxing gambling beginning of 1/1 of 16.
And that was due to HB 5, correct?
It was due to that, and it was just it was something that we had never done, and we just decided that it was beneficial to help the offset some of the changes in House Bill 5.
And I think it's partly because there are sections of the new tax code that the state mandates that we put in there.
Yes.
And gambling references is one of those. So
Correct.
since it has to be in there, we now have to address the issue of gambling winnings. And
I was going to say, now that this is new to the state of Ohio as it is, I
Right.
can understand where it would be of interest or of benefit
Right.
to bringing it into ours. How do you think this is going to affect or impact the city's revenue at this point?
This is yet to be determined. All this is brand new, and it was kind of, they gave cities a year to put this in effect. We've done all of our research, but it's just, most of the things are business-related income that's going to affect, not necessarily the residents,
Sure.
unless the residents have businesses in the city. But things like the 20-day rule. It used to be a 12-day entrance rule, meaning if a plumber came in from the outside, less than 12 days a year, he was not taxed in Forest Park. Now that has been increased to 20, so he can come in and out up to 20 days and not be taxed.
What brought about that change? I mean, you would think you would want...
Well, the state, because you have contractors that are working all over the state. They may work in in a given year, they may work in 30 different cities. So the state was trying to alleviate some of those tax burdens to those small businesses and whatnot.
And that makes sense.
And I think it's probably fair to say that a big advantage is probably for the tax preparers that prepare taxes for people that might work in various parts of the state. And so the underlying thing that I believe the state was attempting to do, good, bad, or indifferent, was to create more uniformity
Yes.
of tax codes throughout the state.
Correct.
And again, you're kind of bringing into a gap, or bridging a gap here and going into your department. How is this going to affect filing, getting things together for your department as well?
We're still working through all that. We're working on updating the website currently. It'll take probably till the end of the year to get that all updated. Once the ordinance is passed, we'll get that out. We're developing new rules and regulations that kind of piggyback on the ordinance. It just helps explain to the taxpayer a little more in layman's terms as opposed to just reciting the ordinance.
Sure.
The ordinance was written by accountants and lawyers, so it's sometimes hard to understand. So we're in the process of doing things like that, updating the rules and regs, updating all the forms for the next year. So all that will be out there hopefully by the end of the year.
Now, this is very complex because the size of the code itself increases greatly. Why don't you speak about that and add to the point of how we're at least going to try to simplify it in terms of communication to the public with a little matrix and summary bit of information.
Yeah, the size of the code probably about tripled just because there's a lot of stuff that doesn't pertain to us, but it's required to be in there.
Sure.
For instance, like casinos. We don't have a casino here, but we're required to put it in our tax ordinance just in case in the future if a casino were to ever come here. We don't foresee that, but that's just one example. So things like that has caused the code to really triple in size.
I can understand that. And as Ray was saying, there's a lot of cumbersome things to digest, especially for, as we were all saying, when it comes to taxes, people get bug-eyed and really frightened. You're putting it onto the website. In what means, form, or fashion are you looking to do that so that it's a little bit easier for people to understand?
We'll probably have a whole new subpage of our tax department set up, all addressing the House Bill 5 issues. So any information, anything related to that should be on that page. But like I said, it has not been set up yet, but we are looking to have it completed by the end of the year.
End of the year, okay. And then again, once you get that started, it'll be ready for
Correct.
the new tax season. So a lot going on
Yes.
to prepare for. You said that you at least had that year to prepare. You did a lot of research going into this. Was it something that was, since everybody was going through this, kind of a scramble, or did you find it a little bit easier to do more research on this?
Well, the writing the ordinance was a scramble, just because it takes, some cities hired it out, we did it in-house, so it's a lot a lot of work, we had a sample ordinance to work with, but we had to customize it to ours, but had to make sure it was still uniform with what the state wanted. So there was a lot that went into it, and it's still a learning process even for our department.
Do you find that because Forest Park is a unique city in itself, that's what made it a little bit of a challenge? Or since you did it in-house, do you feel that may have been more of the challenge?
Yeah, it was definitely a challenge doing it in-house. At the same time, it was a very, very good learning opportunity, and we were able to, if we hired somebody else out to do it, we may not have fully understand every little detail about the new law. So we're really working through it, and we're really understanding it as a whole department.
It sounds like it became more of a benefit, again, because the city is so hands-on with our residents that, again, you and your staff will now understand this far better than you had somebody come in.
Correct.
They're teaching you, now you're teaching the other.
Correct.
I think that probably went.
And within our department, we're having weekly, if not bi-weekly meetings, or within semi-weekly meetings every week. So to discuss these changes, and it's really paying off, I think.
Now, here's one of the key things to appreciate. Because they did this in-house, we saved the taxpayers a tremendous amount of money as opposed to contracting it out. So I want to certainly thank Andy and our finance director for taking on this task.
Sure.
Because in addition to doing this, they had all their regular activities to do. It is a tremendous job. They've done a great job in working on this, but at the same time, they've saved the taxpayers a lot of money. So we should be thankful for the extra work they had to put into this.
Absolutely. So again, things to look forward. Obviously, these changes are happening, but the crux of it, for those who want to learn a little bit more, who have taken the time to watch here, but want to go into more, end of the year, all on the website. And again, that's forestpark.org, and again, in the tax department section. We've done it. We've made it to the bottom of the hour, which means it's also the end of the year. We won't see each other again until 2016. Ray, are there anything that we're looking forward to by the end of the year that we should be looking for in the city? Again, we've been finishing up the streetscape project, which won't be completed until next year, but we're looking forward to that. What other things are we looking towards the end of this year and going into 2016?
Well, the big thing for us for the end of the year is to finish up our projects that we have going. Northland Boulevard, when I came in, I had a little discussion on that, and that is probably the biggest project that we have had in this city for a long, long time. So we want to make sure that we got that taken care of as best we can. It's really a project that's scheduled to be finished next year, but to the extent that we can get things done this year, we're going to keep working on it, and Northland is looking good right now. It's going to look even better come spring. We got a lot of things going on in our recycling and environmental area, as well as just general tasks that we're undertaking to make sure that the city is in good shape for 2016. So we're going to have a progress newsletter, the community newsletter, that'll come out the very first part of December, and in that we'll outline a number of things that people should be aware of in the city. So with that in mind, I'm looking forward to 2016 and bringing on some more of our staff and discussing with you.
It sounds like it. I'm looking forward to a great new year. So with that, I will say happy holidays to both of you.
Thank you.
And we will definitely see you again in 2016, Ray.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And of course, thank you for joining us as well. If you found this as enjoyable and want to do more or want to find out a little bit more, 825-2429, that will get you right here in our office. You can become a volunteer, become your own producer, or just find out any general information you want about our facility, because that's what we're here for, to bring the information that you need to know directly to your home. I'm Jason Grisgoric, Waycross Community Media's Government Access Coordinator, giving you the opportunity to talk with Forest Park. Have a great evening, and we'll see you next time.